In the world of classical music, a world that's, full of tradition and legends, there's a new name creating a serious buzz, Alexander Malofeev. So today, we're going to dive into the story of this young artist who isn't just playing the piano, he's kind of redefining what it even means to be a virtuoso in the 21st century.
Look, getting a good review is one thing, but leaving a critic so completely floored that they feel the word extraordinary just doesn't cut it, that's a whole other level. This was the actual reaction to a recent recital in Madrid, and it just perfectly captures the kind of incredible power we're talking about here.
So that's the big question, right? Who is this pianist? And what is it about his artistry that leaves seasoned critics and sold-out concert halls absolutely stunned?
To really understand the artist he is today, we have to go back to the beginning. And this is a story that kicks off with this just unbelievable explosion of talent at a ridiculously young age.
Okay, so he was born in Moscow in 2001, and his journey began almost by chance, at a local music school that just happened to be next to his house. But by the time he was 13, it was crystal clear this was no accident. He won the International Tchaikovsky Competition for Young Musicians. I mean, that's one of the highest honors a young pianist can possibly achieve. The world officially had its next great prodigy.
But what's so fascinating is how he sees that time. You'd think that would be the highlight, right? But he says it's not his favorite moment. For him, a prodigy is often just, imitating their teachers. He thinks his real artistic journey, the part where he's actually creating his own unique interpretations, is happening right now.
You really can't talk about Malofeev without talking about the tradition he comes from. We're talking about a lineage of giants, and it's baked right into his musical DNA.
So, what exactly is the Russian School of Pianism? Well, imagine an approach to the piano that's all about three things. Absolutely breathtaking technical skill. We're talking hands that literally seem to fly. A super powerful, rich sound that fills every single corner of a hall, and this deep, almost spiritual connection to the great Russian composers.
And these are the pillars of that tradition. Composers like Rachmaninoff, Prokofiev, and Scriabin, these guys were often insane virtuoso pianists themselves. So they wrote music that wasn't just difficult, it was music that demanded absolutely everything from the performer, technically and emotionally. This is the world that shaped Malofeev.
But here's the thing, Malofeev is so much more than just a product of a tradition. He has this deeply personal, almost philosophical idea of what a concert should even be.
See, for him, it's not just about hitting all the right notes. The real goal is to create a space, a bubble, where both he and the audience can just step outside of reality for a little while. He truly believes music is an escape, and you can feel that sincerity in every single performance.
And this philosophy, it leads to some fascinating, really unexpected choices in his programs. He'll put two composers together you'd never think to pair, like the Austrian Romantic Schubert and the Soviet-era Kabalevsky. So why do it? Because he finds this hidden link between them, a kind of pure, almost naive sincerity that he feels in both their works. It's a connection you'd totally miss unless you heard them side by side like that.
And even though he's an heir to the Russian school, his influences are all over the map. He looks at Rachmaninoff as the complete artist, pianist, and composer. He loves the fierce independence of Glenn Gould. And just studying at Moscow's legendary Gunessing School meant he was basically breathing in history every single day. It's this mix of deep tradition and bold individuality that makes him so compelling.
All right, so how does all this, the prodigy years, the Russian tradition, his personal philosophy, how does it all come together when he's actually on stage? Let's go back to that concert in Madrid, the one that left the critics speechless, to really get the full live experience.
So the review from Scherzo magazine called the night a small apotheosis. Now, an apotheosis is like the elevation of someone to divine status. It's a huge word, but as you're about to see, he earned it.
So, the night starts with that wild Schubert and Kabalevsky pairing. The critics said his technique was just overwhelming. Then, he played a Scriabin piece so powerfully that it honestly felt like the grand finale. It was a masterclass. The audience was on its feet, just roaring. But he wasn't finished, not even close.
He walked back out on stage and gave them not one, not two, but 4 more pieces. A work by Glinka, the ridiculously hard Toccata by Prokofiev, a rare piece by Metner, and then, to close it all out, a soul-stirring prelude by Rachmaninoff. It was basically a whole mini recital, after the recital.
That was the moment, that sheer generosity, that relentless passion, after an already mind-blowing performance, that's what lifted the whole evening into another stratosphere. It turned a huge success into something truly legendary. That was his apotheosis.
So after an experience like that, where does an artist even go from here? What's the next chapter in this incredible story going to be?
He's 24 now, and his life has also changed in some major ways. About 3 years ago, he left Russia and now calls Berlin home. And while he said leaving was a sad experience, his artistic journey is just surging forward. It really feels like, despite everything he's already done, he's just getting started.
And maybe this is the most telling thing about him. He's not looking back at the prodigy years, or even at these triumphant nights like the one in Madrid. He's looking forward, convinced that his best moments are still to come. And honestly, after what we've seen so far, who would ever dare to doubt him?